This time of year in the South, perfect fall football weather. And we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. From the 6. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout call. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run on first down. It's Yates, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a give right side. Yates, and he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll try the left side. It's Yates, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Second and 10.
hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 40-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. On 3rd down, Yates, and boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. They'll try and run for it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
On first down, it's Yates. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Mayfield. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
2nd and 11.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. Early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now the toss to Jones, running right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 33.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So the completion gets them just a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Jerry Tillery in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter, and no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Taking on the midfield logo. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's Miller, complete. And they'll get this down to the 10.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
And they try the sweep to Jones. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. That's complete, right around the 8. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? They'll set up a throw.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Play fake. Mayfield. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Mayfield. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
This will be caught inside the 10. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. First chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. To throw, Mayfield. He finds his man, complete. That's Yates. So no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Mayfield off the play fake. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Falcons will extend their lead here just before halftime. So there you go, Charles. We heard the rumblings that he wasn't happy with how he was being utilized, and I think this will silence him for a little while, at least for the time being. His first catch, a touchdown.
This feels like it had all the makings of being one of those stories that pops up and goes away pretty quickly. Let's face it, the attention span of us from nowadays, not very long. And when things change for the better, It's not very long for him either. He's got to be excited.
So time it up for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Taken at the goal line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. Going up top for Miller. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We're just about set to get back to it. Both teams making their final adjustments, and we'll head back to Atlanta and rejoin Brandon in charge.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll drop the throw. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
He completes it to Hunter. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Going deep this time for Miller. And incomplete on the deep ball.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Got a man complete to Miller.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Again, it's Jones. 1st down and much more here for Jones. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. Open man is Miller. He's got it.
And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Aaron Jones,
his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
From the 10. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run the counter. Yates, and it's out. He put it on the carpet, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
Jones.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Jones. And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. 54, come on. 54.
Out of his end zone, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And 1st and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, after the loss on 1st down, they're going to walk that line and understand they don't have to rush just yet. But time is still going to be a factor in their decision-making. Call your play. Make sure everyone knows what they're doing. You have to score a touchdown here. You've got to find a way to cash in.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
They're going to look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Hunter. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Yates. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Mayfield on play action. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off around the 41.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Majors used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Going up top for Miller. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with 2nd down coming up. Looking to throw. He finds his man. Complete. It's Hunter. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on 3rd down. Back to throw again. Completes it to Miller. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Gonzalez's kick is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Mayfield. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we're watching them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll run on 1st down. Yates, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Jerry Tillery picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On third down, Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This officially a 55-yard attempt. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Desperation time. Mayfield on fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll try the left side. It's Yates, and he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 59 yards on the ground for him so far.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9.
They'll keep it on the ground. Yates, and he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Here's Baker.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game. Just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception